The NFL Week 7 NFL DFS Show is brought to you by WinBet. Bet $100 at WinBet and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by the SGPN merch store. Use the promo code NFC Beast for 15% off. Active until the Eagles or Giants lose their next game. So until Sunday, when the Giants get trashed by the Jags. This is the Week 7 NFL DFS Show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Bo McBrayer, along with Scott Simpson. You see our handles here. If you're listening on audio only, it's at Bo_McBigtime and at Nimble W Numbers.
And if you're British, it's Nimblue Numbers. It's
Nimblue Numbers.
Nimblue
My
Numbers,
teeth
mate.
smell terrible. My teeth smell terrible.
Yeah.
You got marbles in your mouth.
Two
marbles
R's.
keep my teeth yellows.
Oh, I love it. So, Bo McBrayer, I got to say, we are crushing it here at the DFS side of Nimble and the side of the Sports Gambling Podcast. Fantasy football. I love it, man. We are in fuego. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the 11-game slate. We're going to start with the Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens, and we'll end at the Kansas City Chiefs visiting the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, it's just
football.
We're watching a game right now. There's more points scored in this game than in every single Thursday night game added up so far this year. So I made that setup out of my ass. But
it's more than the last two combined already at halftime.
Listen, it was 12-9 and 12-7 the last two games. They were shit.
Yep.
They were shit. Now it's 28-14. I mean, this is touchdowns, and this is what we live for. So I love it. I tweeted out by the way,
Andy Dalton's throwing touchdowns to the Cardinals faster than Kyler Murray can.
Yeah, back to back, 2 pick sixes. I tweeted out that fantasy football scoring is down 22%. And it was bad football. Well, this is better football. I like this.
It's bad football, but at least it's entertaining.
It's better bad football. Yeah. So we're going to give you the rundown of the slate here. Excited to be back with Bo McBrayer. He is my podcast partner over at Chalk Block. We do it every Friday on YouTube. Check us out on the Nimble W Numbers Network. All right. Cleveland visiting Baltimore. Last year, by the way, I did some research. My guy, Lamar Jackson, only had 14 combined points in the two games against Cleveland. The year before, he was over 60. So a huge contrast. The question I have for you in this game is Lamar trending towards the 2020 or back to 2021? And we know the answer is not going to be an easy one. I hope not.
Well, I'm intrigued to watch this game because I think Lamar Jackson is going to have a 20-25 point performance. Is he going to have a slate breaking performance? Is he worth it in DFS? Because regular old Lamar is pretty good. He's not going to kill you in DFS. No. But we want like, holy shit, Lamar, 40 points, Lamar. That's DFS Lamar. And I don't know that we're going to get it this week because this game's going to be slow moving. Right. And it's going to hinge on Rashad Bateman, whether or not he's in this game. We have our math magician, our former co-host on Chalk Blocked, Jordan Vanek, tweeting out and then getting shouted out by the fantasy footballers. Pretty big deal with his stat of the splits when blitzed. Lamar Jackson is not good at all when Rashad Bateman is not on the field and he gets a blitz. But if Rashad Bateman is on the field and he takes a blitz, the numbers are amazing. So Rashad Bateman seems to be the catalyst of this season's receiving core when Lamar Jackson is blitzed. I think that if Rashad Bateman's on the field, then we feel a lot better about Lamar Jackson this week.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I'm playing him against you in our head-to-head game because that is a cash game between you and I. I do want those 25 points. I'm not going for 40. It's not an upside play. It's a floor play for that situation. But for GPP, I do think there are quarterbacks who have higher ceilings this week, and we'll get to those. Are there any other players in this game that you're targeting? I'll tell you, I am. I'm targeting Amari Cooper. I'm also targeting Mark Andrews, but I didn't know if there's anybody else that you might be targeting.
Donovan Peoples-Jones at his price, I believe he's 4,100. He's the sleepy guy. Like Amari Cooper beats up on bad corners, and against good corners, he gets shut down. And I'm not saying that the Ravens have good corners, but they have experienced corners. And the experienced corners give Cooper a lot of fits because they're physical. They play up on him. And Amari Cooper against press coverage, he doesn't do so well because he's not a true X receiver. He's more of a flanker. And it's going to come down to big body Donovan Peoples-Jones running off the line of scrimmage, physical presence. I think he's going to have a better game than Cooper at about $2,000 less dollars on DraftKings.
I like that. Speaking of another big-bodied receiver, technically, big-bodied, David Njoku. He's been hit or miss this year, right? He's got a nice projection at 4,200. His boom rate over on Run the Sims 23%. I like him. Am I alone, or are you co-signing this?
I have so much Njoku in my lineups that I've built so far. That price point, like in the low fours at tight end, is spectacular. You got 3 or 4 guys in that area that I'm loading up on if I'm not going to be able to spend up on Andrews, which I probably still will because he's that good.
He's Andrews. Yeah. He's got 4 games of over 20 points, and the other games
he's good.
He wasn't targeted. But I mean, here's the thing. It does hinge on Rashad Bateman, I do think, for Lamar. I'm not going to say that Andrews is matchup proof, but he's a little bit cheaper than Kelsey this week. I think he's $400 cheaper, and Kelsey's at 7,800. We'll get to him later. Kelsey's a great play every week. Kelsey is the number 1 tight end, and then close like 1B is Mark Andrews. So I got a question for you. In this matchup, Kenyon Drake 5,100. We saw him. He looked spry last week. J.K. Dobbins still doesn't look great. J.K. Dobbins is dancing, where Kenyon Drake is just like running straight ahead.
That's all he's got.
5,100. He's projected right now for 1% rostership. So how are you approaching him this week? Is he leaning towards overexposure of 1%, or are you kind of just fading Kenyon Drake?
It's hard to fade him outright because of the 1% and because he looked okay last week. I'm never ever going to say Kenyon Drake looks good because he's not good at football. He looked like he was running north and south because that's all he's got. The guy has never been agile. He's never been fast. He's never really broken that many tackles. He's never been good in his entire career. And the fact that he's running behind a great offensive line finally and a great running scheme is why he looked good last. Yeah, Lamar taking the pressure off every running back he's ever had. J.K. Dobbins is the only guy with the upside in that backfield, even coming off of the knee injury. Dobbins isn't getting that much ownership either. I'm going to fade this backfield overall, but I want a piece of both of these guys just in case because their running game is traditionally pretty darn good. But Drake just doesn't have the upside. Even at 1%, I don't think he's going to have 20, 25 points anywhere close to it in his range of outcomes.
I think you need him to have like 15 to 18 touches, and he's not. He's going to have like
in a GPP, I need him to be able to score 20, and he just does not have that.
Yeah. All right, we've been talking too long. I know that you are our sponsor king here. What's our first sponsor here over at the week?
Are you thinking of joining WinBet?
Dude, I've already
now
joined.
is the perfect.
I'm joining again.
Now is the perfect time. New customers who bet $100 get a $100 free bet. You're looking to join the WinBet Biggest Winners Club? Whoever hits the biggest parlay on WinBet odds-wise gets a $1,000 free bet. Last week's winner of the Biggest Winners Club was a New York bettor who hit a 15,066 plus 15,000 parlay on all live money lines, wagering $110 to win 16 grand. WinBet truly is for hashtag DGens only. There's so much to choose from. All you have to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet so they know that we sent you. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where play through WinBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. What's the next game?
Oh, man. They're all live and lit. I'm not going to lie. I'm excited. This is actually a road. I mean, except for maybe Tampa Bay, there's a lot of home favorites, right? Except for Washington as well. But it's like a home favorite weekend across the board. So I'm excited for all these games. But the next game is Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay looking to steal the soul out of P.J. Walker, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, whoever they run out there at quarterback. Tom Brady.
It doesn't matter.
No, Tom Brady, by the way, if you did not read his lips or understand what he said, I'm not losing to fucking Kenny Pickett at halftime. I didn't leave my wife and fucking kids for that. Yeah, you did. You lost to Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky at the same time somehow, Tom. I got to say, boon for me. I've never been really like somebody to pump my own stuff, but I'll pat myself on the back here. In 2 weeks, I got mentioned by Matthew Berry, shout out the GOAT. My stuff was mentioned over in the Daily Mirror. They had made a tweet where I said, "Oh, Tom, that's where you were wrong, my bro." They put my tweet out there. I didn't even think I got that many likes here in America. And then the other day, I told you about my tweet earlier. That got featured on Instagram. So it's always nice to have the fantasy football world, laugh along with you at these people. No offense, but
instead of traditionally at you, which is
right. Well, you know what? I've been laughed at a lot, so it's always good to be on the side of laughing at. And now Tom Brady is going to be laughing at the Carolina Panthers. Their defense is good, but Tom Brady. This man is angry. I mean, you even heard him I don't know if you heard him, but I heard him. He had a little press conference. He's talking about it. And he's just, he's like, we have not gotten there as a team yet. We're not where we need to be. We're working harder. If Tom Brady is telling you you're working harder, you're working harder, man. So I think this is going to be a game where he does play up and play out. I like the options at wide receiver. Chris Godwin particularly stands out to me. And I can't believe he's not more rostered. 13% is kind of high, but not really. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, I don't know about the Bucs this year, because what I've seen from the Bucs so far is that, yes, they look great on paper. You think, oh, they're going to smash Carolina. The problem is it's a divisional game on the road, and so far this season, the Bucs have played down to their competition.
They've played down to everybody.
Yeah, well, they didn't play down to the Cowboys in week 1. They kicked the ever-living snot out of the Cowboys. Yeah, and that was because they got up for a team that they knew was good and knew was a threat, and they went and they handled business. And then when there's a team where they were supposed to handle their business and take care of quickly, they played down to them and didn't win by much, or they outright lost.
Yeah, the Jets, they pulled out a game out of their ass in New York at the end. Like Tom Brady threw a touchdown to nobody.
That's the Antonio Brown game.
Yeah, completely a debacle of a game.
But I think this week it's going to be a little bit closer. The Bucs are going to win, but the one thing I'm playing in this game is the Bucs defense. Okay. Carolina's offense is a dumpster fire, and if they can corral Christian McCaffrey, which has been difficult for everyone the last few weeks, they can shut this team down completely. They can shut them out. Yeah. And if you get a shutout, maybe a couple picks, a bunch of sacks, and maybe a touchdown scored on defense or special teams for the Bucs, this could be the big, even though you're spending up $3,900 for the Bucs defense and special teams, I think that's every bit worth it, because this Carolina offense has nothing going for them right now.
Nothing. No, I love that too. I think this. I saw the total at 40. It was 39.5. It went up to 40. But I would say, man, fade that. Go under. I could see this being 24-0,
24-10.
Yeah, and they scored a defensive touchdown. So I do think the defense is a play in there. I mean, if you're going to go heavy run offense, or heavy run defense correlation, there's always Leonard Fournette. He's priced up a little bit. I like other players that are. If you're going to go priced up, I like other players that are priced up, like Derrick Henry, 500 more, spend it, get that. But maybe that's not you. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Anybody else you want to play in this game if you're not stacking?
Cade Otton, 2,700. He keeps winning targets. He keeps earning targets. If you're a tight end who can get open for Tom Brady, you're going to get peppered. And Cade Otton, the rookie out of Washington, has been open and has been targeted. He's still not catching on with the DK algorithm, which is why he's still only 2,700. So keep playing Cade Otton. Take your 10 points and move on. You can win with a $2,700 spot with 8 to 12 points. You can win lots of money that way. And if he scores a touchdown, if he scores his first career touchdown this week against Carolina, you're going to win lots of money.
Ooh, I like that, especially at that low pay down. I've got a dull itch for someone later. Never mind. That was never mind. Let's go to Atlanta, Cincinnati. Yeah. So last week, I played a little bit of Joey B with my guy Jamar Chase.
I played lots of him. It was great.
Yeah, it was optimal. I beat you and my co-host over the Fantasy Millionaires, Mike Cash Collins, in our little contest after 6 weeks. Homeboy's got 4 wins. Mike's got 2. You got 0. So I just wanted to bring that up today. But anyway, that's $10 for me, up on all you guys a bunch. So it's okay. Anyway, this game, do you think that they run it back? Atlanta's defense has actually played a little bit better than I think we thought they would be playing. But they're
fraudulent. This is the worst team I've ever seen.
They are not
even with a 500 record.
A ruse.
Arthur Smith is the fakest sharp I've ever seen. That guy has no clue what he's doing. He's lucky. This is the luckiest thing I've ever seen. Their cupcake schedule, their defense is keeping everything in front of them. This isn't a good football team, and the Bengals are going to destroy them. I'd say the Bengals are going to win by 3 touchdowns in this game. It's not going to be close.
The -6.5 is a joke. I cannot
believe. Give me all the points. Give me all the points. I will take every bit of the spread that you can give me for the Bengals. I will sell points to get my odds up. Saying I'll sell points up to -10 in this game and still bet the Bengals so I can take care of business on the betting end. I'm going full Joey B. Jamar Chase, if he's good to go, should be. T. Higgins is healthy again. Joe Mixon's going to have a bounce back game. This whole offense is going to be. Remember last year when we could have played 5 Bengals in one game to be optimal? It's going to be like that.
The Ravens, I believe. Yeah. I love that. Here's the thing. I just so you guys know what a nerd I am. My handle's Nimble W Numbers. My name is Scott Simpson, and on my wall, right in front of me, where I can see, you guys can see, I have the NFL lines of every game. I bought magnets and then helmets of NFL stickers or stickers of helmets and put them on my board. And I got numbers. Like I bought 10 sets of numbers for like $20 each, $100 on little numbers that are magnets that go on my board. I got them. I do them every time, every week. Got all the lines on my wall. So this game to me stands out as a big mistake by Vegas with the 6.5 too. And I don't know if it goes over 47.5 because I don't know if Atlanta
way over.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if Atlanta's going to score that many points. We'll see because they like to slow the game down. They like to run the football. You can't run that many plays on Cincinnati because they will quick strike on your ass, and then you'll have to try to get in the game. If you're down 17-0, how are you going to run the football?
Yeah, good luck running it every play if you're down 28 points at halftime, Arthur Smith. You pile of crap, you horrible fake sharp. I hate you. And
I love that.
Guess what? When this happens, when this happens and the Bengals blow the doors off the Falcons, we're going to see Kyle Pitts unlocked because they won't have any other choice but to put him on the field as a receiver.
Yeah. I like what Mike Robb just jumped in and said. Hayden Hurst
play all the Hayden Hurst.
Yeah,
if he plays offense for the Bengals, right? You're playing him this week.
Yeah, listen, Cincinnati ranks 9th against running backs. They give up about 18 points per game. They've only given up 3 total touchdowns and under 600 yards under 700 yards total. That's actually really good. I do all the math every day for each of my articles for ranking the different running backs. Dude, the Houston Texans have given up like 800 something yards, 900 yards, like 9 touchdowns. This is all, actually they've given up 6 touchdowns. The Detroit Lions give up 8 touchdowns. They were off for a week. They gave up the most rushing touchdowns. It's ridiculous, right? So they're actually not too bad in that sense. So, all right, let's jump to our next game here. And that's Detroit. Oh, speaking of them, at Dallas, tell me why I'm not playing Tony Pollard at 5,700 and watching him run for 2 touchdowns that are like 60 to 40 yards and him going over 120 yards. Am I crazy? Am I taking crazy pills thinking this? Because Detroit's defense, the rushing defense, is one of the worst I've ever seen. I said it might be the worst in NFL history. It was kind of a joke. But in modern right now, in the last couple of years,
they're not looking good. Yeah, they're not looking good.
Not biting any ankles or knees.
So the thing with Tony Pollard is a great play this week. But I think he's a better stacking play with the Cowboys DST. It's like for whatever reason, the 2 best defensive plays this week are the top 2, and that rarely happens. Where I'm playing the Cowboys and I'm playing the Bucks. 4,000, 3,900. I'm finding a way to get those 2 defenses in because I want that correlation between Pollard or Zeke. I think either one of them could have a big day here. I'm going to have a little bit of both, but I'm always going to stack them with the Cowboys DST because the Lions they haven't proven anything. Yeah, they started off really hot. They scored a bunch of points on terrible defenses. It's good job. And then we finally played a real defense. They got shut out, literally shut out. And so what are you gonna do? You're gonna play a real defense out here with a real pass rush, the best pass rush in the NFL. Jared Goff against pressure. Last time I checked, he was one of the worst I've ever seen.
Not good. Not good.
And so, you're gonna play a lot of the receivers in this game. CeeDee Lamb, ultra chalky so far this week, from what I'm seeing. It's still worth it if you're stacking him against Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's only coming in around 10%. You're facing those guys off. They're going to get plenty of volume. There's a reason why CeeDee Lamb's chalky this week, because Detroit can't cover anybody.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. If it's good chalk and it's very likely to hit, especially if Dak Prescott's back, holy crap, is that a stack?
Oh my
Dak
goodness.
and CeeDee Lamb against this defense might blow the top off the whole slate.
You know what? It is only 13-5. I actually wrote about it over for the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I sent it over to Justin. By the way, we record normally on Thursday. This is when we're recording it right now. But last week we did it Wednesday. I hung out with Justin Bruni and my guy Mike Cash Collins over at Top Golf here in Maryland. We all live in the Maryland area. We watched the Washington Commanders shit all over Monday night or Thursday night football. And then we watched the Bears shit all over it too. Sorry to the kids if they're listening. Denny Carter's kids always listen to my stuff. So Denny's kids, I'm so sorry. But with that being said, he's a really good guy. He works for the Sports Gambling Podcast Network as well. He's a host here. He is on this. He's like kind of like our boss. So we love the Bruni, and we were talking about these players particularly because they're way better this week. We knew these guys were coming up, not the Washington Commanders, but the Dallas Cowboys. You have an insight into this, being a Cowboys fan for a long time. CeeDee Lamb has a 32.4 target share. He leads the whole NFL. Do you think that's going to continue? I think it is. That is not something I think that changes. I think that's just how the offense is going to work, no matter who's the quarterback. That's my theory. So I wanted to run it by you. You are an expert.
Here's the thing with Kellen Moore's offense for the Dallas Cowboys. I can tell what play they're running based on how they line up. It's just they are that predictable. And yes, the entire path. If they have CeeDee Lamb lined up in man coverage or soft zone coverage with no bracket over the top, they're going to throw to him every single play.
Single time, yeah.
And that's not going to change between Cooper Rush or Dak Prescott. He is their omega alpha receiver. And they don't even pretend like they're trying to fool you. They just say, hey, good luck trying to stop CeeDee Lamb running routes against you. It's not easy for any corner to cover him, let alone somebody, Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okudah is going to try to cover CeeDee Lamb this week. Good luck, buddy.
So, and let's honestly listen. I want to give people a perspective. No offense to Jeff Okudah, he's 70th overall in PFF ranks.
He's average.
It's average. It's not great, right? I mean, he's got a.
It's going to take a little bit better than average effort for him to slow CeeDee Lamb down with Dak back. Dak making timely throws, giving the verticality back to the offense. I think Michael Gallup's back in play. Dalton Schultz is off the injury report this week. He's in play. This whole offense is in play. This is another flood it, onslaught it, run it back with St. Brown and chop.
No, I love it.
All right. No House Advantage is changing the game by offering the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. Play in pick'em contests versus other people for the shot at winning $250,000 plus in cash. Download the app, choose a contest, select your player props, earn points for correct picks, and climb the leaderboard for your shot to win big money every day. You can also test your skills versus the house and 20x your entry if you hit all your picks. Bet on up to 5 player prop over-unders or individual player matchups across every major sports league, including the NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA, MMA, and NASCAR. Sign up now with promo code SGPN at nohouseadvantage.com or download the app on the app stores to get a first deposit match up to $25. Make sure to check out No House Advantage today and experience daily fantasy sports redefined, because it's not just how you play, but also where you play. You won't want to miss out on this. All right. So, as Scott knows, I'm a trilingual American. I speak English, Spanish, and French. And I do want to learn more languages. I can pick up a little Portuguese, Italian, because they're similar to Spanish and French. But if I wanted to go and dial in and learn a new language, I'm not going anywhere further than Babbel. Babbel is the language learning app that sold more than 10 million subscriptions. Whew! Thanks to Babbel's addictively fun and easy bite-sized language lessons, you can finally cross learning that new language off your list. With Babbel, you only need 10 minutes to complete a lesson, so you can start having real-life conversations in a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel's lessons were created by over 150 language experts and voiced by real native speakers, not computers. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you improve your pronunciation and accent. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, videos, stories, and even live classes. Plus, it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. Right now, get up to 55% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/SGP. That's BABBEL.com/SGP for up to 55% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. Let's hit that slate back up, baby.
Okay, so last week, we were talking about Christian Kirk and Trevor Lawrence, and little do we know, Matt Ryan snuck up on us, and it won't happen again. Yeah, it was crazy. And Michael Pittman too came back from the dead, but we understand kind of where it's going from now on. But anyway, Jacksonville is hosting the New York Giants. The spread is 43 points. Jacksonville -3 here as home favorites. Let's talk about this game script. Is it involve the running backs for you at all? Does it involve Travis Etienne? How
kind of does. It kind of does. I mean, you kind of gotta play a little Saquon. You kind of gotta play a little Etienne. James Robinson's taking the back seat, which we knew was going to happen eventually. He got off to a great start when Etienne was kind of getting his sea legs under him. But now Etienne's the guy. Etienne is the guy, and the Giants are 30th in defensive DVOA. And yes, they are 5-1, but as everybody's been quote unquote joking about, they're the worst 5-1 team in the history of the NFL. And I'm not saying they're the worst. I'm saying they're the least talented roster to ever be 5-1. Their coaching has been spectacular. The problem is that can only get you so far until they get a little bit more tape on you where they figure out where you're going to go. I think this Doug Peterson team, the Jags, are going to figure out what they can do to stop the Giants on offense, and they're going to score 1 billion points on this defense.
Yeah.
So I will take the Jags and the points. I think the Giants are going to get run off the field here. They are the most fraudulent 5-1 team I've ever seen.
I do like Saquon. Here's the thing about Saquon, right?
Love Saquon. Love the Saquon.
Is that he is getting like 25 touches per game. And he's getting targets, which we want to see. So there's about 20 runs, 5 targets. That's great. There's a touchdown thrown in there, so he's got that 19, 20, 23, 24. Almost every time that's the floor. But you could get a game where he breaks one from 80 yards, and you just see it on the red zone. They're like, "This is my favorite." Scott Hansen. Shout out Scott Hansen. He's retweeted me before. We've interacted. I love that guy, right? I'm pining for a follow of Scott Hansen. So if you're not listening to this, you should be. But anyway,
he's our sweet prince.
We love Scott Hansen. Like when me and Bo go to bed each night, we're like, dear Bo.
When he wishes everyone good night at midnight Pacific on Saturday night, I will quote tweet him and say, "Good night, my sweet prince. Rest well." Yeah. Because I want him to rest well for 7 hours.
I want him to never have a bladder infection. I want him to, have the best.
Oh, that MFer would have a catheter in for that show.
Oh, dude, here's the thing. He talked about how he doesn't have to go to the bathroom. He just hangs out. He doesn't drink a lot of water before. I understand that. I get it. But the problem for me,
salty breakfast.
The problem for me, yeah, I could do that. Egg, sausage, cheese, every day. I do. Your Bo's hot pots. listen, if you're not drinking Hot Box for breakfast, what's wrong with
Well,
you?
most people don't drink it.
Get yourself. Dude, seriously, get yourself some. But anyway, yeah, I love Scott Hansen. And as a fan of that, he's going to say something on Sunday like, back here in Jacksonville, right? He'll say one of those little like, we cut to Jacksonville. He tries to be like so.
Daniel Jones has caught up with his turnover pace, and he has turned it over 7 times in Jacksonville today.
So funny. I love that. I do think that wide receiver wise, Zay Jones is a sneaky little play at 4,400. I got a GPP little guy. He's the second wide receiver on that
Zay
team.
Jones made it into the flow chart this week.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I like that. That's a good flow chart. So, all right. Let's jump to the next game. Listen, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think this game hits over 42 points. I thought this game should be about 44 points. What do you think about this? Tennessee hosting the Colts.
I say it's 50.
50. I didn't want to go over the top. I think Derrick Henry.
I'm going 50. I'm going way over the top. You know me. I'm crazy. I'm a lunatic.
Not crazy.
I have a good sense. But I can spot shootouts with the best of them.
You can.
And this is the game I'm stacking. Hey, I'm always on you. I'm on your case every week about chasing points. There's a difference because Matt Ryan looked so good last week. And this defense for Tennessee, the secondary especially, woof. Matt Ryan, Alec Pierce, another $4,200 guy. 4,600. Those guys in the low fours this week. They blow my skirt up this week. Alec Pierce, and then of course Michael Pittman Jr. Spend up to get that guy because he's going to get the volume. He's probably going to score a touchdown this game, maybe 2.
Speaking my language.
I'm running it back with Derrick Henry because he's going nuclear this week. Nuclear.
He is 100%. 8,200. I wrote about it in the Sports Gambling podcast. It says,
what are you doing? He's the king. He's the king. The king.
Calm down. Don't let this out. Okay, calm down. All right. Don't tell people this. If you're listening to this podcast, play it, but don't tell people. It's one of those like keep it secret. And then when it blows up, go, I heard it here first. Because I think it's a run. Yeah. Pittman reminded me of Julio Jones. You remember when he would lock in on Julio Jones and he would just get him 8 yards
every
slant,
play,
6 yards
every
slant.
play.
And here's the thing: when you're doing the slant, you have to read the corner, you have to figure out his depth, and then you can figure out your stride and how far you're going to go before you cut your slant. And then when Matt Ryan sees what you're doing, then he can give it to you in stride. So the more it's a timing route too. Like sometimes they catch it, they dive. Like, oh my gosh,
even better. The goal on a slant is to get the corner to open the gate to the outside.
The turn, yeah.
And there are very few wide receivers that open the gate on the slant better than Michael Pittman. I think the only guy that's like actually like you watch him just do it over and over again is AJ Brown. AJ Brown on the slant is unstoppable. But Michael Pittman is just a big hulking 6'4", and he's not very fast, but God, he's got quick feet, and he opens the gate on that slant, and then it opens up the sluggo route, it opens up the whip route, and it opens up that little fade route where he can use his size. And Matty Ice loves himself some fade routes. Oh my goodness, does he love some fade routes? So Pittman's going to get lots of looks.
Here's how I might even do this, right? Because there is also a love affair with tight ends for some reason. Each week,
who's going to get the looks?
It's crazy. But if you're going to go GPP, right, and you're going to play a bunch of different lineups, I could do a Matt Ryan, Pittman, Derrick Henry, and then throw a crazy tight end, Mo Cox, Johnny was, Kyle Granson, just like a 1% for each of those guys. Or you could cut off the tight end too. But you know, one of those guys is going to get 3 touchdowns this week. It's just ridiculous.
Whichever one it is, it's going to be the one you're not looking at.
Well, they're all so cheap. So, like, if you this is what I like to do. I like to mass build.
Shotgun
approach. If you have $3,000 left, right? One of your lineups could have Granson. One of them could have Cox. One of them could have Woods. Granson, Cox, Woods. Actually, it'd be Granson, Alley, Cox, Woods.
Attorneys at law.
Right, I was going to say. If you've been hurt in an accident, Granson, Alley, Cox,
you need
Woods.
Mo Alley Cox.
You need a lot more Alex Cox. Right. So that's a crazy stack that I would run back. So, all right, let's transition over here to the Green Bay Packers coming into Washington. And Washington, of course,
this game is nasty.
I listen, I live here in the DC suburbia. I'm out pretty far away.
Did you hear about the 50-50 raffle guy?
No, tell me. I love all these stories.
So this guy won a 50-50 raffle a month ago at FedEx Field. Okay. And it took him a month of hounding the franchise to pay him out.
Oh my
and
gosh.
they mail him a check, and the check bounced.
Oh my god. That makes me so happy. I hate this franchise. Listen, I quit them like 9 years ago. It's been the best decision of my whole life.
And the funny part is, he's like, "Who do I even talk to about this?" It's like if my 14, like, think about this: most 50-50 raffles in NFL stadiums are north of $50,000 to $100,000. The FedEx Field one was 14,000. 14,000.
So 30, but half, right? So
yeah, so 14 went to the charity and bounced.
Insiders out there like, I'm going away to Europe because apparently Congress wants to speak to me again.
They're hounding me for these checks every Sunday.
He's bouncing checks and dodging Congress. I mean, what a guy. And then you got Irsay coming out and saying, we've got,
if Irsay's taking the moral high ground, you are a piece of crap.
Dude, I want to see Jim Irsay. I want to see Dan Snyder. Your boy Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft. I want to see a tag team match in the ring, WWE. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Those guys are hilarious. So anyway, Washington is a home dog, 5 points. This should be 10 points. It should be 10 points. They're going to get destroyed in this game. I think
Taylor Heineke is starting.
What do you say?
Taylor Heineke is starting.
I know Taylor Heineke starting. Yeah, pour yourself a few Heinekes because you're not going to enjoy this, Washington. This is going to be a dog show. You're going to get run.
Watch this, though. Watch this. If they go to Sam Howell at halftime, I think the Commanders could upset him.
They're not going to do that, though. Ron Rivera is so old school. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to bring Cam Newton out at halftime before he like Sam Howell.
He's going to trade for PJ Walker in the middle of a Sunday game.
Yeah, he's going to trade for the ghost of Tom Brady.
Oh, no. Who he's going to call is Jimmy Clausen.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, we're digressing. So, but to be serious,
I don't even want to watch this game. I'm not playing anybody in this game.
All right, I'll say this.
Not one.
Okay, well, I'm not going to be that belligerent. I think that running back wise, no. Brian Roth, no. No.
I went through all the players. Trust me, I tried. I really tried.
I would play Dobbs. I play Dobbs. That's about it. That's it. Only Dobbs.
I'll give you Dobbs.
And maybe Curtis Samuel. Maybe not. But that's in GPP. So, all right. What about another barn burner? The New York Jets versus the Denver Broncos. Let's ride.
Let's get the last ad reads out and then we'll.
Do that. Yeah, do that for me, please.
If you watch football, you need Fubo TV. Fubo TV gives you complete coverage of college and pro football with NFL Red Zone, plus games in 4K at no extra charge. Over 100 channels of live sports and entertainment for a fraction of the price of cable. Watch on all your devices and never miss a game or an episode of your favorite shows with the included cloud-based DVR. Plus, there's no contract, no commitment, and you can cancel at any time. Right now, you can try Fubo TV free for 7 days and get 15% off your first month. Just go to FuboTV.com/SGP. That's FUBOTV.com/SGP. What is Odds Trader? Odds Trader is a place to compare odds from all major sports books. You can also compare the different sign-up codes and promotions from sports books to get the best deal. The app also provides player stats, key game stats, injury reports, and projected game day weather for bettors to make the most informed bets possible. It also has a bet tracker so bettors can keep records of all your games and betting activity. You can do handicapping, play-by-play updates, live scores and bet tracking, player stats, key game stats, projected game day weather. Bet Tracker allows you to keep records of all your games and betting activity. Go to oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. The number one site for all your game day bets is OddsTrader. All right, what was it? Jets and Broncos?
The Broncos. I mean,
Denver
dude,
Broncos. The fighting blind, the blind Russes, the dangerouses. Home of the banana pepper spicy sandwich.
Hey guys, this bell pepper
There's
is too
black
spicy
pepper
for
on
me.
this. There's black pepper on it.
Hey mate, I gotta get
Yellow mustard is so spicy. Be careful.
Dude, did you see Luke Sawhook? He did a little. He ate it.
Of course, I watched that. It was great. That's what we're looking for. That's the content That's the content we want to see on Twitter.
Exactly. Luke's the guy.
And if Luke says it's not spicy, it really is not spicy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But I do think I'm not sure if it's Luke or if it was Hutch. One of those guys did apply to be an intern for Denny Carter, but in reality, there's no interns.
Well, that's funny, but it's also kind of cute.
I know it's so cute.
It's so innocent. I get it.
I forget which one it was, but I was like, I want to.
I will admit that I also wanted to be a Denny Carter intern for a long time myself.
Listen, I am a Denny Carter intern, so fuck you guys. Sorry, I'm the kids as well. But anyway, in this game, the total is 38. It's gross, right? And Denver is minus a half right now, so it's basically a push. I think it'll actually be trending the other way. I think the Jets will be minus a few by the game start. Do you think the Jets defense is the best play out here at 2,600? I think it's a good play.
Yeah, it's okay. Denver's defense is okay because Zach Wilson's not good at all.
Oh no! This is a low scoring game. This should be a 20-10, a 15-12. This is a 7-9 game. This is a bad game.
Cash games, I'm still playing Breece Hall.
Yeah, I like him at this price. Yeah.
But the problem is this game's going to be a clunker, low scoring, slow paced. Russell Wilson looks literally legally blind out there. Legally blind. Yeah. He's missing more open receivers than Zach Wilson usually does.
Yeah. It's not good.
It's the Wilson Bowl.
Yeah.
The blind Wilson Bowl.
Oh my gosh. Wilson versus Wilson. This law firm is the people who are representing the people who Better Call Saul can't, cover. So
I'm gonna tweet out Tom Hanks and Castaway just screaming Wilson out into the ocean when his volleyball's floated away.
That should go viral like a mother.
Wilson! I'm sorry, Wilson.
No, well, what about your boy Dulcich though? I mean, he looks pretty good.
What about him?
Yeah, I mean, he's only 2,500. The cheapest possible price.
Yes, I'm gonna play him. I'm just saying, don't think don't expect much out of him.
No, he can't block. I heard a little dissecting him. To be really an effective player in the NFL, you need to be able to block. Anyone can run a route, bruv, right? Unless you're. By the way, Mark Andrews. You know how many times he's blocked this year, Bo? Give me a number between
0.
Right, 0 and 0. I was going to say 0 times he's blocked. So he's a wide receiver pretending to be a tight end. I think Darren Waller's blocked more than he has. So speaking of Darren Waller, I'm not sure. Is he limited? What's he doing? Is he going to play this week?
It's hard to say. He hasn't practiced. His hand is still tight.
Yeah. It is kind of just the nebulous that is been him the last couple, not saying seasons, but he's been injured a little bit the last couple of seasons. He's missed some time. But not
that happens. I'm not going to fault a guy from getting hurt because that's usually luck.
No,
the problem is you can't count on him unless he's active. Then we can count on him. If he's active, we're playing him.
You're not sure. I mean, yeah. And
if he's playing, I'm playing him.
Yes. Agreed. Yeah, no, if he's a full go. Speaking of full go, though, Devonte Adams is a full go. The NFL has kind of concluded that they're going to let the legal proceedings play out before they determine any, anything else. And legal proceedings, how long?
it's going to turn into no charges are going to stick. He's going to pay the guy a social damages. That's what's going to happen here is you're going to run personal damages, civil suit. The criminal charges are going to get dropped. They're going to settle for a fine or whatever, and it's not going to be a thing. It's still not even a thing because yes, the guy ran out in front of him, and yes, Devonte Adams was very upset and shoved him out of frustration. It was, yes, by the letter of the law, he broke the law and assaulted that man. The problem is,
you run in front of me as I'm running off the field. If I'm running and you're running to the same point in time and you're all of a sudden in my spot, I might push you instinctually.
You're not going to push him like Devonte pushed him, though.
Bro, I might push you.
You're going to jail, too.
I might.
No, but neither one of you are going to jail because it's still simple assault. It's still a crime. He's still going to get punished. It's not going to be a large punishment, though. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Have you looked at the chalk on 6,500 Josh Jacobs? It is projecting 33%. Over 33. That is crazy. I mean, for cash, that's great. I love it. Who cares? Doesn't matter. But what about for GPP? Would you do a Dameon Pierce kind of fade, or would you do a stack? How would you approach it?
What position does Josh Jacobs play?
He plays the back of the run.
So what do we care about chalk?
Never.
How do his points per dollar, his boom rate, his optimal rate look? Amazing, right? Amazing.
I mean, like strong to quite strong.
So we're playing him.
Yeah. Why is there a picture, by the way, on Thursday Night Football of JJ Watt and his child and his wife? I don't want to see that. That's not a Christmas card. If JJ wants to send me that Christmas card, he can. He can.
He's got a handsome family. I think that's why he put it.
It's great, but like that's just so invasive. Like, why are we looking at your baby?
I'm sure he agreed to it. Nobody loves attention like JJ Watt. We know that.
Right, but listen, that child has no choice. Right?
It's true.
So that's all I have to say. All right, let's move on. We've got 2 games left, and they are the 2 highest projected point totals. Actually, well, Casey's down a little bit, so second 2 highest on the board. Seattle and the LA Chargers. Man, I do love me some Justin Herbert. Him and Matt Ryan are tied.
That game's going to have some scoring, guys.
Most completions, 170. But Justin Herbert has the most completions, the most attempts. He is high flying. Is Keelan Allen back? He got limited reps. I mean, that's what we want to hear.
It's a good sign. Good sign. Let's fingers crossed.
Any moment. It's a hammy.
Always a good sign. The problem is next week is their bye.
Right.
You know
why force him?
Why rush him back with a hamstring, which is the easiest thing to aggravate?
Right. You push off. You cut. You
slow down.
Stop.
No, really.
Right.
Most guys pull their hammies trying to decelerate.
No, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And there's other plays in this game too, though, that are you don't even need to worry about if he plays or not. But if he plays, okay. But let's talk running back first.
Fireworks. Fireworks.
Austin Eckler is the highest scoring running back in the NFL right now for DraftKings.
He's going to still be.
I think he is too. Ridiculously.
All the people worried about him after 2 weeks.
I hope they traded him. I really hope they did. I hope they traded him away. Matt Harmon has him on every week. They talk. I mean, it's ridiculous. People fading him. He is a muscle. Like he literally is a physical. You're watching him do 1-arm pull-ups, bro. Like yeah. I got more tea infused watching him than I do running 6 straight days this week.
Contact tea.
Yeah, contact tea from the TV. I was like, holy God, look at Austin Eckler. I got, oh my God, I'm going to do something great this week. So, I mean, I do love him. Running it back with Kenneth Walker makes a little bit of sense. He's a little bit rostered.
Dueling banjos.
But what about running it back with DK Metcalf? I like a little bit DK. He's under rostered. No. Tell me why. Bigger, stronger, faster. Doesn't matter.
DK Metcalf does very well against bad corners. The Chargers have good corners. That's simple enough. And I think that the pass rush, the problem with the Chargers on defense is they can't stop the run. That's why Kenneth Walker's picking up so much chalk on his end. I don't care about chalk at running back. Kenneth Walker's underpriced. He's going to have a huge points per dollar number against the Chargers who can't stop the run. Yep. And they're going to force Geno Smith to beat them through the air, which he has done to some teams this year.
He's throwing it around a little bit.
He's looked really good throwing the ball down the field. I just don't know that it's going to be there. I think that this offense for Seattle is going to put up a lot of yards, like 450, and I think they're going to give the Chargers a lot of grief. If they keep it close, they can win this game because the Chargers, as you know, at the end of games, they like to lose.
They love to lose. That's their thing.
It's the verb charging. They do it all the time.
Charge. Yeah.
And it took literal Russell Blind Wilson for them to not charger last week.
Nah, I mean, come on, Russell Wilson. He's washed. All right. Speaking of not washed, Pat Mahomes.
He's
magnifique. Back up there.
Did you know Patrick Mahomes is really good?
Yeah, I think he's a Hall of Famer. He might be the
first
ballot right now.
Unanimous.
Oh, I mean,
that guy's so much fun to watch. My God,
he's
what a talent!
Yeah, it's just
that Hansel's so hot right now.
He always is, but in this matchup, this game I think shoots over the 48 points. I think this is a great game for points. What do you think?
No, Chargers or Chiefs are going to smash them.
So you don't think they score to keep the game?
The 49ers are not going to score more than 20.
Well, they just need to score like 15, 16. KC can score like 35 points.
I'm not. It's not a safe over for me. I think it's
a safe one. No, I think it goes over.
It's a number I don't want to bet because it's too close to how I have predicted. But the 49ers offense has problems because they looked okay last week, but just missed opportunities. Jimmy Garoppolo misses so many opportunities every week. And you'll see like 3 or 4 throws every game. You're like, wow, nice throw, Jimmy. And then like 4 more where you're like, oh my God, Jimmy, you're going to kill somebody.
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes. And the Chiefs are so aggressive at man coverage on the outside. And that does pay some, it gives you a chance for some big plays with Ayuk again. And of course, Deebo Samuel and Kittle. But I don't trust Jimmy Garoppolo, especially against this Chiefs pass rush.
I don't trust him, but I do like George Kittle this week. I think he's a sneaky little play at 5,300.
How many points per pancake block do we get?
We get 13, I think. Lucky 13. No, but no, I think Travis Kelce is a great play. Actually, I said it was 4. I think he's 600 more expensive than our boy Mark Andrews. I think Mark Andrews is 74. He's 8, so he is actually 600 more. So. Would you pay up? Would you do double stack? What's a dueling tight end banjo called? Is that like these guys are like, by the way, the 2 most macho high T
double tight.
Yeah. Do we say double tight?
Yeah.
Dual tight. How about that? Dual T. Oh my gosh. Double T. No, I like the double T run back. You got to put Mahomes in there though, because he's the guy who's going to really pop. If you do have anybody you're going to stack in this game. I like Mahomes stacked with Kelce. I'm not going to lie, it's expensive, but right now it's only 5% rostered for both of them. So you cut the chalk in half when you do a double stack there. You got 2%, 2.5% roster. That's crazy. Just a secret. You're going to hear it here first.
Yeah, it's I don't like it at all, but you go do it. You go do it.
I'm gonna do it on you. I'm gonna do it on you when I play in our GPP tournament. So, with that being said, Bo McBrayer, where can people find you, sir?
You can find me on Twitter at Bo_McBigTime.
Now you can find me over at NimbleW Numbers, and you can find Bo lots of different places. Check out his link tree because he's got product, hot box batch stuff. He's got merch. I mean, he's got nice, beautiful hats over there too. Get Viridian Global, and then also check out his writing, Fantasy Pros. He does content for me at NimbleWNumbers.com, and I can't wait to talk chalk blocked tomorrow. We're traveling to the mountains, doing a little getaway, London, and the different organizations that have blessed us through her cancer treatment. They have blessed us with a weekend home to go hang out in the mountains. and go do some activity. So I'll be broadcasting from the far western Maryland regions, Bo. The cold, might see some snow. We'll see how it goes. No winter, sadly. She's going to be going to a friend's house. So, but I cannot wait to see you tomorrow on Chalk Block. Check us out. We appreciate everybody. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel here over on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, the Fantasy Football Edition. And then also do follow us on the tweeters, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.